Today is Monday, December 9th, and not a good day for most of my stocks, but the Nasdaq. Let me get on a daily chart here. Let's look at the daily chart of the Nasdaq. It was down a little bit, 0.62%, 123 points, closed at 19,736, 22% above the average 50-day average volume. I still think it's going to take out 20,000 here. It's been up since the election more than 8%. So for it to give back 0.62, that's to be expected. Also on Friday, it closed 6.2% above the 50, this rising 50, this red line here. And we know when it gets to that level that it gets a little wonky, and immediately, as soon as it got above 6.2%, 6%, sold off today. Profit taking, totally normal action to be expected and healthy overall for the longer term rally here. But if you look at this run since the election day here on the 5th, I mean, like I said, it's been more than 8%, and today's pullback is just a little blip on the screen. And so if your growth stock sold off, 2 or 3%, that's normal. If they sold off, 14%, that's not good. And so anyway, the Nasdaq was down. They were all down, roughly about a 0.5% today. SPY, yeah, down 0.5%, but you can see it's now 3.1% above its 50. The Dow Jones Industrial Average, I think that was down a 0.5% as well, 0.54, yeah. 44,401, and then the IWM, it was holding up okay, but still closed down a 0.5%. So not a big deal, just a little bit of relieving the pressure of the rally and a little profit taking on a Monday. Not the end of the world, to be expected. Anyway, you saw the indexes. Let's take a look at some stocks. These Magnificent Seven stocks held up pretty well, especially Apple. This one broke out of this base last week, and now today had this hammer candle. I mean, this thing was not listening to the market. It closed, yeah, 91% of that daily range. That's a nice move, and it's getting extended from the 10 EMA there, 2.8% above the 10. So any stock, above the 10 is super strong right now. And I don't know if this pullback is 1 day or 2 days, whatever, but whenever you have a pullback like this, it's like you want to have some cash on the sideline to take advantage. Like you want to be out, looking to get in. And if you're owning everything and you're 100% stuck on the gas, then you just got to bite the bullet and take the hit here, or unload some stock and get some cash, raise some cash to buy some of these stocks coming in. This is Microsoft. I talked about how it broke, above its downtrend line. I should have had this one on my ready list. I don't know why I didn't last week. And then gained, 0.5% today. When the index down 0.5%, this is up a 0.5%. So Microsoft looks good there. I'd say that 441.85 or 442 area. I think that's a good area to buy Microsoft here. That would be an early entry buy point. You could see it's still consolidating within its base there. So I'm going to put that one on my ready list tomorrow. Microsoft at 442. That one looks eh, pretty good to me. I mean, I don't want to put on too much until the selling subsides. You don't know if the selling subsides after 1 day or if continues tomorrow and Wednesday. You just got to wait and see and observe the action. All right, another stock that was rallying today, but I think it closed a little lower. I'm not sure. Is Amazon? Yeah, just 0.5% lower. It's had a nice run here. Made a new high. That's what it was. Made a new high, then pulled back a little bit. Google setting up kind of nicely here. Cup with handle pattern. It's had trouble with the government for a little bit. It's kind of stalling it, but I think eventually that's going to break out that 182 area. Meta did not have the great fortune today. It was down $10 or 1.64%. Yeah, broke out of that buy area. Now it's coming back, right? Broke away on what was it, Thursday or Friday of last week? Yeah, Friday. It's up to 629. Now it's pulled back to that old 603 buy area. So I might have to put Meta on the ready list once again. If that thing wants to come, down to 603, we'll take a swing at that thing. Um, and let me see. Oh, Tesla. Tesla is the strongest of the Magnificent Seven stocks here. Definitely holding up well. Made a new high at 400. As soon as it hit 400, it got rejected right away. I mean, it was like allergic to it. There it is at the open, slammed above 400. I think it was at 404 or something. Yeah, and then just sold off immediately down to 378. That's a heck of a move right there. Had some buying into the close. That's what you want to see. You know, high volume close there for Tesla. Not bad. Up on this session. Yeah, showing strength. NVIDIA. We've been wondering why it's been struggling and, stalling and not doing anything. Well, the China antitrust came after NVIDIA, so there's inquiry. So that's going to put a little damper on NVIDIA for a while. So you're going to have to look elsewhere for your semiconductor plays. All right. Okay, that's it for the Magnificent Seven. I just want to get to some of the selling. I don't want to be too negative. You got to expect some profit taking along the way, but right away you could tell they're coming after these energy, electric power stocks, selling them. Let's see what happened here at the open on a 5-minute chart. Yeah, just right at the open, just boom, 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 just selling this thing right on down. Yeah, just kind of a flat close too. So perhaps there's more selling in this one. I'm disappointed with this one. Let's go to the weekly chart. Had a 3 weeks tight pattern here, and that's usually an add-on buy, but man, it took out the lows from the prior weeks here, prior 2 weeks, and so the low on the 22nd, the week of the 22nd is 142.72. You'd look for support there. I would look for support there. That's just a $6 move, but I don't know. I still believe that Vistra is going to be bought into the year end. I could be wrong, often wrong, never in doubt. Um, but this is a nice shakeout. I'll say that. Nice shakeout. We'll see where it goes from here. GEV, same thing. That nice little pattern there it was making, and now today, kind of sliced. It's okay for them to come down to their 20. It was pinching in nice. But you don't want them to stay down there. Vistra and GEV, if it stays down there for a day or two, okay, but it's got to bounce pretty soon. It can't just sit there and squat at the 21. So I'm watching those two out of this group. Talon is another one. Pull back to the 21. And like I say, it's okay, but they just can't squat there. They got to get off that line in a couple of sessions and don't stay there like all week, or God forbid, trade down to its 50, or even, just take it one day at a time. We'll see. Oftentimes they slice their 5, slice their 10, slice their 21. They take a visit to the 50. So I don't want to take that trip with any of these stocks. I'm not doing that because I don't have to. OKLO, this is, I believe, the Peter Thiel nuclear play. This one, and once again, pull back to the 21. Looks like it closed quite a bit below it here today, an 8% move. Yeah, it's 6.1% below the 21. I'll say that's slicing the 21. And if these things want to go to the 50, I'm not interested. This is SMR New Scale Power, and this one closed 4% below the 21. So you got to look out here. They've had nice runs, you can see, and now there's profit taking here. There's no telling when the profit taking will stop, when the buyers step in. So um, just warning you. Another group, like I said, I'm not going to do this all night, but they got to notice the CAVA group here. This one sliced, it's 50, and this is adios muchachos for me. Took out, many, many, many weeks lows. I think you got to go back to this week. November 8th, yeah, the low was 132 there. November 8th, it was 130, 105. So yeah, that's a lot of give back. Too much for me. So yeah, some of these are not looking good. Eat, still stronger of the group. It pulled back to its 21. Maybe it'll find support there and bounce. You just got to wait and see. Shake Shack pulled back to its 10. So that looks a lot better. It's still down like nearly 4%. Sweet Greens pull back to the 50. So yeah, a lot of profit taking. That looks pretty rough. A 10% haircut for Sweet Green, and it's trading kind of wild. You can see it undercut the 50, then rallied back up to 45. So maybe it'll find support here sometime soon and rally once again like it did last time. But yeah, okay. So I got to get to the real story of the day. The software names, they really came after them early and often. This is App 11. Obviously, I mean, it went from 90 to what was it, 430 last week, 417. Okay, that's a nice move. Anyway, just pulled back to its 10 today and undercut it, closed 2.8% below the 10. So that one wants to come back to the 21. It's got a long way to go here. Yeah, 318 today. But yeah, so for me, I mean, this is, I've been saying there's no sell signs, there's no sell sign. To me, that's a sell sign in app 11 for me. I mean, because I don't want to I don't want to let my profits, just disappear. But the low last week was at 335.79 and it cut that low today. So undercutting, weekly lows. I'm in a position. This is why you can't, follow everybody into trades and copy. You just got to develop your own style because right now I'm way ahead of the S&P and the Nasdaq, and I could not buy or own a stock the rest of the year and declare a victory and do a victory lap and go, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to stay involved. I'm going to stay invested. I'm going to stay trading. But to me, that was the sell sign. So of app 11 for me, for my style. I mean, I'm not calling this a top at all. I don't think it is. But it might pull back to a 21. It might form a base. I don't think it's going to make that 417 high anytime soon. That's my guess. So Palantir then had an ugly candle here as it made this high. It was up to 80, and the next time I looked, it was down like 75. What's going on? Closed at 72. That's pretty bearish engulfing candle there. But anyway, it's still above the 10, so you know, it's doing better than app 11 anyway. Let's take a look at the weekly here. Um, I don't need pet friend photos. Thank you. Palantir, see, it didn't take out last week's low. So this is looking a lot better than app 11. App 11, just a temper tantrum because it didn't get into the S&P. No, there's a lot of profits to be had there. I mean, when you're up that much, you got to expect profit taking. Datadog announced a convertible. I forget the amount. It was quite a bit, like I don't know, 775 million, something like that. And it sold off to 4%, but it's still above the 10. So these are looking better than App 11. Of course, they haven't had the move that App 11 had. It didn't have enough, as much profits to take as App 11 had. But still, you got to be careful here. ESTC, all these software names are just being sold today. And this one undercut, I believe, 106.53, cut the low of the, no, it didn't. It did not. It's coming close though. The low on this day was 106.53 and today's low is 107.50. So getting close. Something to watch for if you're holding Elastic. Monday, come Monday, it'll be all right, unless you're owning Monday. This one sold off too. Still above the 50, not bad. And then Snowflake. Yeah, software names just being sold today. Not bad, 1.5%. Gapped higher, holding the gains, allowing the moving averages to catch up. So anyway, that's it for the software names. That's it. I mean, the last bit of selling I'm going to talk about here is the crypto names, and the MicroStrategy CEO talked about buying more crypto and excuse me, more Bitcoin. He now holds more than 2% of the entire world's Bitcoin. So he's selling stock and buying Bitcoin. He's doing convertible bonds and buying Bitcoin. He's doing whatever he can to buy more Bitcoin. His stock just sold down to the 21 today. We'll see if that finds support. After the big rally up to 543, it came down, found support and bounced, and now here we are again. But it's at a higher price. The 21 here on November 26 was, 336. Now today it's a little higher. It's 362. So you could see how if it finds support at the 21 and stays above it and it's a rising 21, it's fine. But he keeps buying Bitcoin and the stock's not really responding like it was in the past. So kind of a change in character there, but it needs to find support. Coinbase, this one is another one that, undercut, I believe. Oh, I know what it did. Yeah, it had an inside week. That's fine. It undercut the low from Friday. That's what I was talking about with my friend. I was watching it with the 325.50. So he sold when it undercut there because he thinks it's going to take out more lows, and it closed below its 10 there, 1.4% below the 10. So that's not looking as good as Hood, which is, one of the better looking of these digital currency plays. And this one closed, it was down 5%, but it still closed 2.7% above the 10. So pretty rough day today for, out there in the market. A lot of the leading stocks that had a lot of profits saw profits taken, and that's, just part of the game. That's why I always say it depends on your objective, your goals, and your time frames. Some people are just going to hold on and, ride it out, and some people just sell and move on to the next. All right, so I've got to point out some some good news in the market today, and there was plenty. There was a lot of stocks that were up on volume, a lot of low price stocks, small market cap stocks, the China stocks. Um, we're getting some love today. So you saw the rotation into those names, and not so much some of the other ones that I just showed you from the utilities and the power, the energy, the software, the retail restaurants, the crypto names. So anyway, Reddit was one that got upgraded today, and it made a strong move at the open, but then the market got to it. The overall selling in the market, this one was negative for a while today. And then buyers came in, bought it up, and had a nice day today up. When the Nasdaq's down 0.5%, and you're up 2.7% with volume. That's a good day. And Reddit's just, to me, let's go to the weekly here. This had its, IPO base, and it broke out. So this is your due diligence phase here. And then now it's in its advanced phase, price discovery. We don't know, what the market was willing to pay for this name, but we'll find out eventually. Right now, it looks like, 165, 170, they're okay with that. Anyway, ALAB is another one. Showing strength today, closed at 122. Yeah, that's nice. 1.35% move. Once again, this is just getting started, in my opinion. This is your IPO base, your, due diligence phase, and now it's just, and after that 1 week pullback, starting to trend higher the last 4 or 5 weeks since the election. And to me, if you look at this one, keep that ingrained in your brain, and then look at CAVA, this part of CAVA here, where it did its due diligence, pull back, and then ripped up. Yeah, pull back a little bit, then ripped up, and look where we are now. All right, so that could be ALAB 6 months, 8 months down the road. You have to wait and see. But anyway, ALAB was showing real strength. It's got that earnings line is heading due north. So just trying to point out some areas of strength. ASAN, Dustin Moskowitz's stock broke out Friday following earnings and followed through nicely today, 12% move. That was kind of a surprise. Take a look at this on the weekly. Just emerging from this, I'd call that your stage one base right there. That's a nice breakout. Get back here. Yeah, nice breakout from that base. So, back in 21, before the bear market, it was what, $145 stock. But, once it sold off, it just started getting into this stage one base around $23. So yeah, it's a 24.87, $25 after hours here. That looks good. 24.82, very nice. Price on RBRK, another one that reported earnings and then rallied on Friday. Just had an inside day today, but still, it was up, 8% and had an inside day. So it had a big wild bar there on the breakout. Did not undercut the low of the breakout. So Rubric looks pretty good as well. Let's go to GitLab. GitLab had a weird move on Friday, and yeah, this thing just can't get off the ground. I don't know what's going on. There's some sellers there. RH, the old Restoration Hardware, they report earnings on the 12th. Had this, bull wedge pattern, back to the 10, and then found support at the 10 and bounced. but you can't get too big in front of an earnings report here unless you're a wild and crazy guy. SRRK, this one keeps showing up on my screens. It's a biotech stock, and I've got to be honest, I don't know what they do. I'd have to look this up, but it broke out and then it pulled back to its 10, and now it keeps making new highs. There's 4 days in a row where it's making new highs, so you gotta like that. SRRK, that's Scholar Rock. And I'll have to look into that one, see what they actually do. Plexus, this is one of those electrical contracting manufacturing stocks that made a new high today, and I kind of like that 169.41 area. You call this little, triangle here, 169.41, rally up, little pullback to the 10. And if we can get above there, that's an area of interest for sure. This is in the same group with, Sanmina, electrical contracting manufacturing, CLS, which has been strong. Yeah, so that group had been doing pretty well. Flex, okay, sliced to 21. So anyway, some other names doing well. Jeffries, a financial name. Yeah, making new highs. Las Vegas Sands. Tell you, the boomers are out. They're gambling away too. eBay no, that didn't make a new high. Oh, I know why I put this on. Yeah, it's set up in a base here. To me, with the buy point there at 65.91. So that one could, it could show up on our ready list here one of these nice days. Cup with handle, kind of like that pattern there because it got the little shakeout, trading tight, and now popped a little bit today. So eBay looks pretty darn good. CALM, a food stock making new highs, very nice. And then Deckers showing resistance here to the overall selling in the market, just pulling back to its 10. Deckers just a monster. Uh, that, if you got that one right there at that 182, 185 area, pretty easy hold here, just a gentle pullback to the 10, lighter volume. So yeah, Deckers looks good. All right. I did mention the small cap and the micro cap names that were, doing well today. This is the real. It's got less than a billion market cap. It's up 40%. COLM, these guys are Columbia Sportswear. This has got a 5 billion market cap, so still, small cap, showing strength. They're up nearly 3%. ODD, this is the Israel-based, I think they're fragrance, right? Beauty, cosmetics, kind of in the same area as Elf. This one was up nicely today. It's got a 2.8 billion market cap. PSMT, cannot tell you what these guys do. It's Price Smart. Okay. Yeah, all right. And this one looks pretty good too. Is it traded tight within the base, pull back, to that moving average, and then pop today nearly 4%. That's showing relative strength. And then there's one here, software name. Yeah, showing relative strength, making new highs, above 10. So this is a super micro cap, 730 million dollar stock there, but showing strength. SKY. This is those champion homes, right? The modular homes, uh, manufactured. Anyway, made a new high today, up 4%, 6 billion market cap. And then SKYH, just add an H, and this is Sky Harbor, building heavy construction group. And this is less than a billion market cap as well. It looks great, but I'm looking at smaller caps. I don't know if I'm going to jump on something like this. It's been trading sideways for a long, long time, and I'm not a big believer in the longer the base, because why hasn't it broken out? It's been a year, but anyway, it has shown the ability to move, but I don't know. I'm looking around at smaller caps, and so that one popped out at me. TSAT is another one of those, super small micro cap, 237 million, but breaking out of a base, right? So I'm just looking for strength in the smaller caps, 57. Yeah, 1,000 shares traded each day. So this is a micro cap. This is a flea on a cow's behind. Super small company. I mentioned the China names, Futu, had a nice move here. PDD, it popped after, being miserable forever. And then ATAT, I had this one on early this morning's report. I forget why. It was an upgrade, I think. Yeah, upgrade. So that one, it's got that buy point there at 29.15. Nice pop today, though. It's extended, 4 billion market cap. And so this is, the same theme as, leisure, lodging, traveling, staying out. And anyway, that's it for me. Thank you for watching. At mcstockcharts.com, we have one more thing in honor of the great Steve Jobs. We have some earnings reports tonight, and AI reported, and they had a deal with Microsoft, and it was up more after hours, but now it's pulled back, but still up 10%. So we'll take that. I just pointed that one out to brace you for the Oracle move, man, because they missed. Yeah, it wasn't good. Yeah, I don't think this is going to be up tomorrow. This is not going to reverse. So a little bit of a haircut for Oracle tomorrow. The 50 right there is at 179. Maybe it'll find support there. Hopefully. Toll Brothers, not a good environment for the home builders right now. I think they're in for a tough year here in 2025. And made that high, 169, pull back to the 50. Looks like it's gonna, slice through there tomorrow. So anyway, not good for the Toll Brothers. They build, higher end homes. They're in California, expensive area. This is MDB, kind of flat after hours. I didn't even look at their report. BRZE, I didn't even look at their report either. I know they reported down 5%. Not good. HQY, I need to look at all this. I'll have this in the morning. Yeah, this is down 5%, so this is not looking good. CASY, I mean, these aren't market moving stocks. CASY General Store, here they have good hot dogs. But anyway, down 2% after hours. And then MTN, which is Vail Resorts, ski resorts up 3.8% after hours. So anyway, I'll have all this tomorrow. Thank you for watching at mcstockcharts.com. We never give up.